When talking about his time on his unmade Halo movie, Neill Blomkamp told Wired in 2012, "The way Fox dealt with me was not cool. Right from the beginning, when they hired me up until the end when it collapsed, they treated me like spit. They were a crappy studio. I'll never work with Fox ever again because of what happened to Halo, unless they pay me some ungodly amounts of money and I have absolute flipping control." I had to censor that quote there because we're still in the first 30 seconds of this video and I don't want to get demonetized. The story of Neill Blomkamp's unmade Halo movie is a story for another time, but that quote pretty much summed up the creative process he went through. Ultimately, Fox didn't trust Blomkamp's vision, and disagreements between them, Universal, and Microsoft meant that the movie died a swift and unsatisfying death. Blomkamp swore off movies based on intellectual properties, and an insider told Vulture in that same 2012 article that Fox flipped them completely. Yeah, I'm still worried about that demonetization. So it was rather surprising when in January of 2015, Blomkamp was announced to be working with 20th Century Fox again, this time on one of the studio's biggest intellectual properties, a new Alien movie. A movie that would ignore the continuity of Alien 3 and Alien Resurrection and serve as a direct sequel to James Cameron's Aliens and reunite much of that movie's cast for one last ride for the iconic Ellen Ripley. But the following 2 years would bring back some of those horror stories from Blomkamp's time on Halo. Once again, Blomkamp would be treated rather poorly by 20th Century Fox, and, perhaps ironically, it was because he didn't have absolute fucking control. We're now out of the 30 seconds, folks. This is what happened to Neill Blomkamp's Alien 5. But first, we want to say thank you to this episode's sponsor, Surfshark VPN, who have played a big part in the relaunch of Cutscene. We all know what a VPN is by now, but for those of you who don't, it's a virtual private network that will protect your data as well as get you access to geo-blocked content from around the world. Protect your data while you're out and about and using public Wi-Fi locations, ensuring those pesky hackers keep their grubby mitts off your personal information and passwords, and gain access to region-locked content like Max, Hulu, BBC iPlayer, and so much more. Why should you only watch the movies and TV shows that your country say you should watch? Try everything from all over the world. Surfshark has 3,200 servers in over 100 countries, and you can use it on unlimited devices with access to 24/7 customer support. They even offer a bundle called Surfshark One, which includes the VPN, antivirus, private search, and data leak alerts all together to keep you fully secure. Secure your privacy with Surfshark today with their 30-day money-back guarantee, so there is no risk at all. Use the promo code CUTSCENE to get 4 months extra for free at surfshark.deals/cutscene. That's 4 months extra for free using the promo code CUTSCENE at surfshark.deals/cutscene. In January 2015, Neill Blomkamp posted this artwork online. It featured Sigourney Weaver as Ripley, Michael Biehn as Hicks, this intriguing xenomorph helmet, and other visuals and ideas that really lit a fire under the Alien fanbase. Coming Soon reported these images were from a now defunct Alien movie that Blomkamp might have been working on titled Alien Xeno, but the truth came out a few days later that this was just the director being a bit cheeky and developing an Alien movie without any involvement from Fox, the studio that owned the intellectual property. The following month, Blomkamp revealed to Uproxx's Mike Ryan that while shooting Chappie, he and Sigourney Weaver had a lot of conversations about what an Alien movie might look like if she suited up as Ripley again. While Chappie was in post-production, Blomkamp started developing a full story for this theoretical movie. He commissioned some artwork by Jeffrey Thorrens, which he then posted on Instagram. In an interview with Coming Soon, he revealed that he blindsided Fox with this artwork because the two were not working on an Alien movie together. He added, "Fox didn't know that I was developing it, so in that sense, it was completely unsanctioned and just basically for fun." And it would appear that his time with Fox previously had informed this decision, as he told Uproxx in February 2015 that after what happened with Halo, he was wary of taking on a franchise picture, adding, "If it's gonna happen, it has to be on my terms." His idea that was by taking Alien 5 to Fox, it would be his idea, rather than being approached to make their idea for Alien 5. Basically, the ball was in his court. He reckoned that if he called Fox the next day, they would give him the green light to make the movie. And it would appear that Blomkamp's assumptions about Fox were correct, as 1 week after those interviews and just 1 month after he posted the artwork online, both Blomkamp and Fox announced that Alien 5 would be the director's next film, scheduled for release on March 4th, 2016. Very quickly, Blomkamp set out his stall that his Alien 5 would take the Superman Returns route and ignore the third and fourth entries of the franchise, serving as a direct sequel to 1986's Aliens. He told The Guardian, "I want this film to feel like it is literally the genetic sibling of Aliens, so it's Alien, Aliens, this movie," even categorically ruling out the return of the Ripley clone seen in Alien Resurrection.
My favorites are the first 2 movies, so I want to make a film that's connected to Alien and Aliens. That's my goal. I'm not trying to undo Alien 3 or Alien Resurrection. I just want it to be connected to Alien 1 and 2.
The next few weeks, while on the promotional tour for Chappie, Weaver and Blomkamp were constantly asked about the status of Alien 5 being their next project. And 2 things kept coming up. Number 1, how much of a fan Blomkamp was of the Alien franchise, and 2, that this was still just a possibility of happening, not a guarantee. And it was far from a guarantee, because Blomkamp was not the only director working on an Alien movie with 20th Century Fox. In an interview with Empire magazine in March 2015, Blomkamp revealed that he'd already made a change to the story that he and Weaver had conceived, saying, "I changed the one thing that Ridley Scott felt was bumping Prometheus a little bit." Prometheus began life, ironically, as a 5th Alien movie following the mixed response to Alien Resurrection. In the early 2000s, Ridley Scott had expressed an interest in returning to the Alien franchise as he wanted to explore the origins of the Xenomorphs and began developing a story with Aliens director James Cameron. But while the pair were working on that, 20th Century Fox had finally gotten a script that they liked for their long gestating adaptation of the comic book series Alien vs. Predator. They handed Cameron the script, and at that point, he left the franchise entirely, feeling that a crossover between the 2 characters would kill the validity of both series. Following the mixed responses to both the Alien vs. Predator movies that they made, Fox announced in 2009 they were rebooting the Alien franchise and Ridley Scott was coming back to helm the movie. After a few script rewrites, Prometheus went into production in 2011 with the new idea that this was not a reboot, nor a prequel to Alien, but a movie that shared DNA with Alien and was set in the same universe. The movie was released in 2012 to fairly good reviews and a very good box office return, earning over $400 million worldwide. A sequel was announced shortly after the film's release, and by the time that Blomkamp was posting his artwork online and Fox were making public statements about Alien 5, the script for Prometheus 2, soon to be titled Alien Paradise Lost, was complete and Scott was deep in pre-production. This meant that Fox were now making 2 Alien franchise movies that weren't connected to each other conceptually, and one of them was not even in Fox's original plans. While Blomkamp posted new artwork in July 2015 on Instagram with the caption, "Alien going very well, love this project," Bloody Disgusted posted in August that things were not so rosy behind the scenes. They wrote, "While 20th Century Fox is still hot on the project, our sources tell us that they're being forced to hold off until after Ridley Scott goes into production on his long-gestured Prometheus sequel. This means a lengthy development process for Blomkamp's Alien and a potential release in 2018. The rumor was that Ridley Scott insisted that Alien Paradise Lost was done first before Blomkamp started on Alien 5, but by delaying that movie, that might bump into scheduling conflicts for Sigourney Weaver, who was set to star in James Cameron's Avatar sequels. As if attempting to ease the worries of fans, in September 2015, Scott told Empire that he would be producing Blomkamp's Alien 5 and Paradise Lost shouldn't affect things too much, noting Alien 5 is more associated with Ripley. It's a completely different angle. It's more of a sequel. I'm coming in from the back end. The following month, while promoting The Martian, Scott essentially confirmed the Bloody Disgusting report, saying that Blomkamp's movie would be delayed, and that they'd only just got the first draft of the screenplay. 10 days later, Blomkamp posted a picture of him holding a pulse rifle, indicating some form of pre-production, but just 2 weeks later, revealed on Twitter that Alien 5 was now on hold and he might be moving on to other projects. Deadline reported a change of vision on Scott's part might have had something to do with putting Blomkamp's film on hold. As initially conceived, Prometheus 2 would have followed the further adventures of Noomi Rapace's Elizabeth Shaw as she seeks to uncover more about the events of Prometheus. However, Scott eventually set those plans aside, revealing in a recent interview that Prometheus 2 is going to be more of a proper prequel to Aliens. That concept isn't the same, but it is closer to where Blomkamp wanted to go. In an interview with Icons of Fright, Michael Bean said, "I know they're putting the brakes on Neill's movie for just a little while, but I think that it would be embarrassing to Ridley and Fox and Sigourney Weaver if they just didn't make the movie." While Collider discussed that Blomkamp's Alien 5 might not just be on hold, but off the table entirely. The following day, things looked even worse for Alien 5, as Ridley Scott told a press conference in Sydney for pre-production on his newly named Alien Covenant that this was just the first of 3 Alien movies he wanted to make. He said, "So I'm now going into the next one, which is the next evolution directly connected with the first one. When that's finished, there'll be another one, and then another one, which will gradually drive into the back entrance of the film in 1979. If one Ridley Scott movie could hold the production of Alien 5 back, imagine what a slew of Ridley Scott movies could do." Throughout 2016, conversations became slower and slower on the status of Alien 5. Sigourney Weaver was asked about it in almost every interview she did, noting that the script was great and everyone was excited to do it, but they had to wait until after Alien Covenant was released the following year. While they waited, Blomkamp would go to work on The Gone World, which, also didn't get made. And Weaver went to work with Cameron on those Avatar sequels. Weaver told Entertainment Weekly in July 2016, "We have a great script. Fox asked us to delay so Ridley Scott could shoot his second Prometheus movie. And that was too bad because we would have already done it by now." Weaver would constantly sing about how great the script was and how it gave Ripley the perfect ending, as well as having original ideas that she wanted to see happen on the big screen. And it wasn't just Weaver, as James Cameron told a Comic-Con panel celebrating the 30th anniversary of Aliens in 2016 that "I think it's a very strong script and Neill Blomkamp could go and make it tomorrow. I don't know anything about the production, I don't know what Ridley Scott's doing, but hopefully there'll be room for both of them." But as 2017 rolled around, a Twitter user asked Blomkamp directly what the chances of his Alien movie actually happening were, and he simply replied, "Slim." As fans started to turn on Ridley Scott for delaying and seemingly killing Alien 5 in favour of his own Alien franchise, he told The Independent in May of 2017 that, even though Sigourney Weaver and James Cameron had said otherwise, there was never a script. It was an idea that evolved from, I believe, a 10-page pitch, and I was meant to be part of the producers on that. It didn't evolve. He instead said that it was Fox that didn't want to do Alien 5 and simply said, "I don't think so," when asked if the movie would ever happen. He would then tell The Independent 1 week later that Fox did want to do both Alien Covenant and Alien 5, but he had one question for the studio. Why do both? He said, "Why have both out there? It seems like shooting your big toe off. It doesn't make sense." In June, Blomkamp did an interview with The Verge to promote the launch of his own independent studio, where he confirmed that Alien 5 was dead, blaming studio politics and Ridley Scott for being ultimately the reason for its death, saying, "I think that if the circumstances were different and I didn't feel like I was getting too close to something that Ridley Scott obviously feels a massive personal connection to, that things may have played out differently." But let's go back to Scott's quote about Fox not wanting to make the movie. Over the years, several plot details have been released about Alien 5. Mike's Monsters has a great breakdown of all of the ideas, which is linked to in the video description. Do go check it out. And there are some that claim Blomkamp's ideas were a bit too out there for a mainstream popcorn movie, such as the ship in this piece of concept art would have been revealed to have been made by the xenomorphs using rewritten human DNA via their saliva and bodily fluids. In the video, an executive working on the film at the time told Mike's Monsters, Fox basically said, "In no uncertain terms, we're going to put our money on this one, not this one, because Alien Covenant has Ridley Scott, and he is, the father of the Alien franchise." And that's it. That's how Alien 5 died. Essentially, at least going by what Blomkamp has said about the project, Ridley Scott was quite precious about the Alien franchise he'd created in 1979 and felt that he should be the one to steer the Nostromo forward. While Prometheus began life as just part of the DNA of the Alien series, it was now the Alien series, and Alien Covenant was the next step. But sadly, it was the last step. While Alien Covenant got fairly decent write-ups in the press, though not everyone was a fan, it was not a box office darling, earning $240 million worldwide, just over half of what Prometheus made in 2012. Despite that, Fox CEO Stacey Snider stated that they were committed to Scott's Alien series. Scott revealed on the director's commentary for Alien Covenant that this next movie, titled Alien Awakening, was already written, and he would later say that it would focus more on the AIs rather than the xenomorphs, and would be set on LV-426, the planet from the original movie. Although he had previously said that he had a few movies lined up, Alien Awakening would round off his trilogy and bring us up to the events of 1979's Alien. Sadly for Scott, 20th Century Fox was in the process of being sold to Disney, and all process on his third Prometheus movie started to stall. Though his movie stayed in some form of pre-production for some time, Scott was still talking about Alien Awakening as late as 2020, it was reported in 2022 that Fede Alvarez had been hired to write and direct a new Alien movie, not connected to any of the previous Alien outings. In March 2023, Alien Romulus was officially announced and released in August 2024, with Ridley Scott serving as a producer. In an interesting side note, and there's no proof that this also helped the death of Alien 5, Alvarez told The Hollywood Reporter in March 2023 that he met Ridley Scott while he was working on production for Alien Covenant, and Scott asked him what he would do with an Alien movie, and he ended up pitching what would become Alien Romulus. And that meeting is what got him the green light several years later. As for Neill Blomkamp, in a 2021 interview with The Guardian, he posited that, ironically, it was Chappie, the movie where Alien 5 was born, that was also the movie that brought about its demise. It's possible that Ridley watched Chappie and he was like, this guy can't do Alien, so let's just go ahead and move on. He added that his professional relationship with Ridley Scott was over because I'm not going to work on a film for 2 years and then have the rug pulled out from underneath me and then go hang out and have beers. He lamented, what doesn't make sense is that I feel that it's what the audience wanted, so it's strange because Fox would never really turn down money. He also said again that he would never work on an intellectual property that is not owned by him, which is what made the announcement of him directing Gran Turismo all the more surprising. However, the damage of Alien 5 is clearly still playing on him, as seen in this 2023 interview he did with Mike Ryan of Uproxx, the same person he'd spoken so passionately about Alien 5 just 5 years earlier to.
I saw Water Hill came out recently and said Disney wants to go in a different direction with Alien. I enjoyed the production designs you posted on Twitter.
It's hard to define how little I care about what happens with Alien.
Okay, well, I think you just defined it pretty well just with that statement.
Yeah, so I guess I don't want to talk about that either. I want to talk about Gran Turismo, or we shouldn't talk about.
Sorry, I didn't hear that last part you said.
Let's just focus on Gran Turismo.
Well, I mean, yeah, we did for 12 minutes. I had more about it too. We're not done yet. Are you still there?
Yeah?
I did want to ask you about Mardenborough doing his own driving stunts. That's a pretty cool thing.
Yeah?
Okay, I mean, I don't know. What happened here?
Well, I mean, we were talking about Gran Turismo, which was interesting.
Right, and I like the movie.
We've spoken about it enough. I guess you have enough info.
Well, no.
I think it's time we end this interview.
Oh, alright, cool. Yeah, I think so too. See you guys. Bye.
Perhaps the saddest part about all of this is that Alien 5's cancellation means we did not get that finale for Ellen Ripley that Blomkamp and Sigourney Weaver wanted. Speaking with Total Film in 2023, Weaver announced that she would be retiring from the role, saying there are all kinds of younger actors taking this kind of role. And there was an Alien movie that I really wanted to do with Neill Blomkamp, and we didn't get to do that, but you know, that ship has sailed. I'm very happy doing what I'm doing. I put in my time in space. Blomkamp noted in an August 2021 interview with The Guardian, I also felt bad for Sigourney because she was really into what I'd brought forward. I felt like for audiences who loved Aliens, there was an opportunity to do one more film with Sigourney in a way that would have satiated what people were looking for and what I think I was looking for. For the last 40 plus years, the Alien series has been plagued with cancelled movies. Resurrection, Scott and Cameron's fifth Alien movie, even Ridley Scott's Alien Awakening, and Neill Blomkamp's Alien 5. In space, no one can hear those stories. The legend of how an unnamed member of staff at Pixar accidentally ran a line of code that deleted Toy Story 2 months away from its release date, and how Galen Sussman saved the movie thanks to having a backup at her house from her maternity leave. That clip wasn't just on the Toy Story 2 DVD, it's available to watch on Disney Plus as an extra right now. It's a story that